The Cheating Death podcast is a comedy podcast that contains language, subject matter, course material, and information that might not necessarily be suitable for all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised. On today's episode of the Cheating Death podcast, a very special interview with the legend, the loyal Leviathan known as Dallas Cash. Take heed to his words as he explains just how beautiful life can be through the hard times and how one can be resilient and remain optimistic and achieve whatever they set their mind to. We also provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a new joke of the episode, a top 5 list, and more. So grab yourself a coffee, prepare yourself with a nice warm blanket, relax, and let us show you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Understand that as the season progresses further into the gray matter, we have a choice to make. Whether we proceed along the gray and let our minds decay, or we do our very best with whatever power we have within us to try and find the small samples of beauty that are all around us, to find the reasons for living. Whether it be a flower to sniff on the way home, the taste of a latte at 7:30 in the morning, whether it be an opportunity to make a new dish, or a chance to see somebody you love and care about make a major milestone accomplishment. Life is beautiful, and it is indeed treacherous in some ways, shapes, and forms, but that does not necessarily mean that you should give up on yourself. No, that means that you should continue to be relentless, stand up, and wage war. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this was your Annihilation Announcement.
Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, eine gute Nacht. Ist ein Reisender, dein Ausländer, deine Cleric of Chaos, here for a rather special episode of the Cheating Death podcast. We have, waiting in the wings, an emissary of empathy, an annihilator of understanding, one of the greatest ever graced any platform in social media. You can follow him at twitter.com/KingDallasCash, all caps. We have the one, the only, the legend, Dallas Cash, joining us on the program today, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today, Dallas?
I'm as great as the wind that takes me to the skies that grace the skylines. But I must say, when you dive into a cesspool of happiness, you have to bathe yourself in the starways of the blood and trials and tribulations of where you've gone. And you can never, everywhere you go, there you are. And I never wait till someone dies to give them their rose. I give them their rose while they are still alive with drive and ready to thrive. So you, my friend, you have graced me with your presence and given me the dubious honor to spend time with you. And I am humbly rejoiceful that we get to share this.
And as you state so beautifully, succinctly, poignantly, borderline poetically, I must expound upon your statement that you, Dallas Cash, are not only the leader, the emissary, the domicile, the promoter, if you will, but also the individual in whom is behind the group that is slowly changing social media for the better. The Culture Clash Network, the CCN, the Humble Roses podcast, the many, many programs that you, sir, are responsible for ensuring reach the airwaves on a week-to-week basis. This galaxy, this universe, this domicile, this pale blue sphere that we call Earth, admittedly would not be the same without people who do everything they can to ensure that people are reaching their dreams. And that, dear Dallas Cash, is you, sir. So our first question to you upon entrance to this lovely program and you gracing us with your presence is, one, who are you? Where does Dallas Cash comes from?
Well, that's really an interesting question. I had an identity crisis for most of my life because I didn't know who or what I wanted to be. And then when I started looking up my ancestry and my family history and figuring out what exactly I was before I could conjure up thoughts, this is what I came to the conclusion of. I was born March 3rd, 1989 in Jacksonville, Florida, to a mother who didn't want me at first. I didn't meet my mom till I was 13-ish. And my father brought me up from Jacksonville, Florida to Akron, Ohio, where my dad's side of the family stayed. And that's where I was raised. My mother, my grandfather, her father was born in the Bahamas. So we have Bahamian/Creole blood lineage on that side. And on my um, father's side, we have African American, but indigenous because my great grandmother was born on an Indian reservation in Caddo, Oklahoma, Choctaw Nation. So I have like an indigenous background as well. Went and found the enumeration district number when I was researching, found pictures of my grandmother when she was 11 in a school play. I still have the pictures and everything, so I went on newspaper.com. I became like a vessel of just like bottled up hatred just because of abandonment issues, and part of that was um, I wasn't trying to be like much of a victim or anything. It was just I was used to being abandoned or left alone or left for dead that I just kind of went with the flow. I was kind of a drifter through my childhood. Like I already knew some places that I wasn't welcomed, and throughout that, I found hip hop and I found rock music. I found jazz. I found music that spoke to me in a way that I couldn't formulate words to describe. And I tried my hand at being a rapper. And I remember getting into a battle, and there were some terrible things said, and I just lashed out and just whatever I came up with, that was like my method of attack, mechanism because of my insecurities. So then what happened is, I'd say 7 years later, I'm traveling battles across the world and gaining a little bit of a following, gaining a little bit of a fan base. And it got to the point that I did this for years and years, leaving the country. Like I battled in Canada twice. I have been to 35 different states just to battle. Traveling the world on your own dime and seeing everything, you kind of like I don't like chaos. Like you gotta understand when you have a reputation and people hold you to that reputation, you always have to deliver. No matter how you feel, you have to deliver. And for me, there was a time where I didn't want to deliver. I wanted to deliver myself to a cemetery because I was just broken. And I found solitude in family and balance. And when I realized that there are people like me out there who don't get the love that they deserve, I created a podcast because of my love for wrestling, and wrestling was another. And with the Humble Roses podcast, we like highlighting those people who did what I used to do, and basically was a master at the craft, but didn't get the recognition because you weren't high on the totem pole like other people. So I was just a guy who was searching for balance and recognition, but because of my narcissism as at an early age and my insecurities and my consistent wanting of acknowledgement, I learned that it's better to take a step back and analyze. And I wanted to walk away from just rap altogether, but you can't. And especially in my consensus, because I knew day in and day out that it's always going to be part of me. Even before we were contacting each other, I was like, I'm not battling anymore. Then my friend contacted me and he said, hey, I got a battle event going on. We'll pay you. Well, I don't think he's going to see this, but we'll pay you X amount of dollars to perform and go against this guy from this city. We'll make you guys the main event. We'll film it. Can you do it? No problem. 25-minute drive for me. I normally am in the city anyway. So that's been my thing, just being a good husband, a great father, a monumental reason for people to live, because I won't call myself a suicide survivor. I'm really big on mental health, and I'm really big on connecting with people who have seen the end of the finish line and decided not to cross it on their own terms. I was weak mentally, and there's a quote that I will take from Kratos from God of War Ragnarok. Um, Death can have me when it earns me, and right now I still have a lot to do. So, and especially for individuals like you, I got a lot to live up for, look forward to, and my work's not done. So, I hope that answers.
Admittedly, and rather, shall I say, succinctly, that answers it in droves in more ways than I could possibly explain in this language that I only to a remedial extent understand. Um, I expected that kind of answer, Dallas, to be entirely forthright and direct. I mean, you and I have both shared in the short time that this universe has brought us together in this dance of delirium, to which we have become capable of knowing each other's follies, each other's foibles, and all that other bullshit. So let me just put it to you like this. It's quite clear you have what some, as we would put it, in the sheltered variety or the no danger domicile would understand and or accept as a story needing to be told. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think, and it's the position of this podcast, the directors, the producers, and myself, that I hope one day that you and a director of your choosing, hopefully Scorsese is still alive, but he's 83 now, so we can only hold out hope. But there is hope that one day you will be able to tell your story through a film and or movie related medium. You downplay a lot of what you do. You are extremely humble. And yes, of course, that plays into the plug for the Humble Roses podcast. But understand this. Even in your explanation, as you had answered the very first question, you'd said so poignantly and so directly and so beautifully. You didn't have to say half of that, but you chose to take a lot of that time to pay due to others who you feel have brought you to where you are. I only know you because of a mutual friend of ours within an industry we both enjoy. That one man, that one lady have brought two people who hope to do whatever they can to spread a positive ripple out into the universe. And one person brought those two people together. The kind of delivery forth on everything that you produce, everything that you appear on, whether it be Humble Roses, whether it be the Two Mamas podcast, whether it be anything you do with the Culture Clash Network, anytime I see your face, I know there's going to be something good. Anytime I see your face, I know that there's going to be a human on the other side who's not only doing this for likes, clicks, subscribes, comments, despite the fact that all of us as content creators are in there for that. We all know it. But Dallas, there are so many things that one could ask you, a man, a caliber, a leviathan of loyalty as you are. But question number 2 is simply put, what is your favorite pizza?
Oh, easy. So, dude, let me tell you something. When you get a pizza, you need to have the following things on here. My pizza, okay, you need to have pepperoni. You need to have ham. You need to have bacon. You need to have green pepper. And I know my Italian wife is going. I know where this is going. I don't care. I don't care. Pineapple goes on pizza. I don't care. I argue with a wall, argue with apocalypse in Sabanur. Pineapple goes on pizza.
Interjecting immediately and specifically as we both feel that the listeners are going to be like, how dare you? Why did you add the pepperoni and the pineapple together? I am telling you this right now as somebody who has currently family living in Florence, Italy, and a couple of townships south. Don't worry about that. The only people who worry about pineapple on pizza are the people who worry about change. Pepperoni, pineapple, salami. The basic top 23 topping of salami balamis. Why? Because pepperoni, the mutual base. You get cheese on every pizza. Salami to add just a little bit of sodium and a little bit of extra flavor. You throw in that Popeye to give you the sweet and extra sour. Nothing matches it. So I'm wholly in agreement with you. 100%.
Absolutely. No question.
What's your favorite burger place where you are? I know you're in NYC. Look, man, I lived in Brighton Beach. Had an apartment there for about 8 months. It was on Neptune Avenue, I believe. But I'm firmly aware you may not necessarily be in that direct area. But I want your top 3 burger places.
So I stay in Ohio, and our burger place out here, Retro Burger out here in Middleburg Heights is really nice. Mars Bar, definitely. Like Mars Bar in Cleveland, Westlake, Cleveland, Ohio-ish area. I'd say number 3 is Five Guys, but you gotta get the burger a certain way. So if you're gonna get a burger, get a bacon cheeseburger, and then you get mayo, A1 sauce, and hot sauce at the same time. Grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, and pickles, and you're good to go. That is a burger personified. The only person who makes better burgers than Five Guys is me when I'm grilling or smoking my patties. Because my wife will tell you I make the best smash burgers. And my personal life, if you want this recipe, I'll give you this recipe. This is the Dallas Cash smash burger. Get a smash burger, get either a double or a triple, has to be a double or a triple. You use light mayonnaise and toast the buns, and then you put in some more, little bit of mayonnaise, buffalo sauce, a pinch of clover honey, and either cowboy butter seasoning or the cowboy butter to go with it. Little bit of cowboy butter and clover honey. slap that on a burger and you're good to
Why
go.
the cowboy butter sriracha? Do not get that for this recipe.
And again, the fries. Make sure you got the right sauce for it. I dip my fries in ranch, or I do ranch and honey mustard. You have to have both. So I don't do like if I go to Five Guys, I'll do ketchup, but I'll have like salt and pepper mixed in and a little bit of that vinegar thrown in there, mix it, and then like I put a little bit of honey in it because honey with fries is really good.
100%.
Ooh,
And
ooh,
that's
man.
the reason why I wanted to ask you specifically as to which would you go to for your top three? Because both of us are aware. I mean, you've lived in New York City, you live in Ohio now, but you have had the opportunity to travel, as you've mentioned, throughout numerous states, and my eyes are twinkling because I think about the beauties of Ohio. Yes, people are like, the beauties of Ohio? What do you mean? Dude, trust me, when you don't live there, there's beautiful places. The beauties of New York, the beauties of New Mexico, Los Angeles, like California, there's a whole ton of places. But what you just pointed out there, not only succinctly and very, very beautifully provides people with options, but also identifies exactly what you can do. Because a lot of people don't necessarily have an idea as to how many layers and how many different special points of spicing and making it your own that you can make when it comes to making burgers and everything else. But that being said, Mr. Cash, our last question today, and you know, I spent a lot of time trying to think what the last question would be, and I have no shame in admitting that. However, I think the fitting question that would be for the final little foray within our lovely special episode here is, what pushes you to do what you are doing now and everything that has led up to what you are as of this moment?
First of all, thank you for having me. Number two, you've asked some great questions, and I want to answer your question as respectfully and honestly as possible. I think the thing that pushes me is, and I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for saying this, but it's been my relationship that I've had with other people. So, for example, when we first did the first episode of the Humble Roses podcast, it was just me. It was just me for a long time. And then, like, I think about 10 or 15 episodes later, Vanessa joined, then Angel, and then Kev, my best friend who stays up in Cleveland. My first episode that we officially kicked off was dedicated to Meechin. And Meechin actually came to the show and was in the comment section interacting with my chat. And without saying too much, I have tried to have her on the show, but you know how WWE is. She has been
Interjection. I'm going to just say this. Mia Yim probably wanted to do your program, but as you just mentioned, there more than likely were barriers. But the fact that Meechin reached out to you, our podcast and our program has nothing but beautiful things to say about Meechin, Mia Yim. Outstanding talent, outstanding wrestler, outstanding human. Please continue.
absolutely and should be the next United States champion. Um, she's done things for me that I won't reveal, that she didn't have to do. And when I say that, I mean things you would not expect somebody that is a celebrity to do for a small, basically a nobody like me. And she's not the only one. Carmelo Hayes, another one who did something for me that he did not have to do. Melo don't miss. Uh, we had Corey Glover as our first like big guest on the Humble Roses podcast, and you go check that interview out now. Network page, but I'm probably going to re-upload it on the Humble Roses page. We asked him if he was doing a so this interview happened last year in December. We asked him, was he doing a performance for CM Punk at WrestleMania 41, and he hinted check it out. So we asked him about Living Color and Code of Personality, and it was just like we really have somebody on this show that was Grammy nominated, Grammy award winning vocalist. And then it started to there was like a continuum shift. Santino Marella, Mega Ran, Mosh from the Headbangers, Isaiah Broner. Like, I just started reaching out to people that I knew just did not get the love and respect that they deserved. KJ Orso, not formerly known as Fuego del Sol anymore, but he was another one. And it's just the fact that I kept pushing because I wanted to bring a different form of wrestling podcasting to that I'm still trying. It's a task, and it takes time. But for the first year, it's been one hell of a ride. And if I would be satisfied, but not where I wanted to be, but I would be blessed enough to say, I've done something that I couldn't imagine myself doing. The thing that pushes me, Chaos, is when I talk to people like you, specifically you, there is a burden that I have on my heart to satisfy what you expect out of me. And part of that is making sure that I respond to fans every time that they come on the show. Even if you're not a fan, I respond to everybody. It's the same as if somebody walks into your house. So the podcast is my house. You walk into my house, I'm going to speak to you. You sit down on the couch, we're going to have a conversation. Wrestling podcasts nowadays, when they have fans in the live chat, and I know it depends on the people, but they don't really interact with them like they should. I want to know what people think. Killer Cross came to my show based off me finally understanding what he was trying to tell me for so many years. And I'm like, I'm on board. And it brought me and you together. And the night that I was streaming, and I'll never forget this moment for as long as I live. Oh, man, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. The night that I was streaming, I was recapping his documentary for One Big Work. Cross was already following me, so I kind of like he responds to everybody. That's the one thing about him I absolutely love. Like a nobody like me, he'll respond to. He'll respond to anybody who gives him the love and respect he absolutely deserves.
No disagreements there. He is absolutely 100% in being able to identify exactly where his fan base emanates from and why they support him.
Yes, and I see a lot of myself in Cross too. So the night that I was streaming, I was like, there's no live view. There were some live viewers. I'm like, it's not that much. We were like doing like 80 live viewers or whatever, 100, whatever. So I'm just talking about the documentary. What I did not know is that during the show, I did something unconsciously that ended up changing the direction of this show because it was like, what did you just do? So what I did was I DM'd Cross the link to join the show. And I said, hey, check your DM. And I said on the show, he's not going to respond. He's not going to see it. But I just wanted to throw it out there just in case he wanted to stop by. And I remember I was talking about him winning an Oscar or an Academy. And when you're using Restream, a browser, a website that I use, a streaming service, it'll make a sound and show you like a small circular video or like basically like you can see the person as they're setting their camera up. And I'm like, there's only one person I gave the link to. And I look and I see Cross's face and I go, I froze. Like if you go back and look for him maybe 6 minutes in, I froze. And I go, oh shit. Because first off, two things. I hate Spectrum's internet. Their internet connection, I'm on a gig and I still get bad internet connections. I don't know. It might be my computer or whatever. I need to upgrade. I'm broke,
Same
but
with the drug, and it owns the country.
I'm broke. So, um, and that's another thing. I'm like real extremely transparent. So if I tell you I ain't got it, I ain't got it. I'm broke. My account, I got like $17 in my account right now, and I got to make that last till next Friday. Anyway, and again, that's with traveling to my job, back and forth. And getting back to it, I look and I'm like, oh shit, Cross is here. What do I do? So I start building it up and I bring Cross on the show. And I swear to God, I've never seen anything like this. We went from 85 live viewers to 1,000 in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And I said, oh shit. But I was so worried about the connection that I didn't want to keep him on for too long. And when I was talking to him, I was like, how are you doing? He's like, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm like, I'm fantastic now. And I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden, here she comes. It just comes right into the view. And I'm like, yep, we're out of here. Like, this is it. So we start talking, and Cross said some things to me off camera. And Scarlett told me when the things that Cross said to me off camera, like, they stay right here. They stay right here.
We will never that. Anyone who asks you to tell you or them what Cross told you is a dick and should be treated as
No,
such.
no, I just will not say anything about it. But Scarlett said something to me that hit me right here. She said to me that they were online looking to see who was talking about their documentary. And the first thing that popped up was my live. I could not, they watched the entire thing. They watched the entire thing from start to finish before they came on. And because of that, she also said, she even pointed out something which told me they were listening. She said, you had asked, what is it that you could do more to support us? She said, everything that you're doing is more than enough. And that let me know that we need, as the Killer Cross, I won't say cult because that's KKK. But we as the Cross cult, like we got to support our guy. We have to do it the right way. We got to go buy the book. I still need to buy the book. Um, I'm going to go meet Cross and Scarlett uh, December 7th in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to Steel City Comic Con and I am coming to see them. I am going to see them. They've given me their time. It's now time for me to repay the favor.
Ladies and gentlemen of Pittsburgh, please listen to Dallas as he says this.
Yeah. I don't know if you got a live chat or anything right now or whatever, but all I'm going to say is this. If you are somebody who feels defeated mentally based on everything, if you're going through medical problems, if the bills are piling up, if you just lost your job, if you are working a job where it's dead end or you don't feel valued, you have to step back and analyze every situation and understand that you're going to have to take some lumps on the chin. I was unemployed for, I'd say, a couple of months before I had to get my feet together. And the way that I found solace in my failures was realizing that the more that I fail, the more likely I am to succeed. You can fail 9 times, but by that 10th time, you're going to succeed. And it may take longer, it may take less. It's all about what you have here. If you have the grit, if you have the determination, if you have the guts, if you have the wherewithal, the presence of mind, and the mental fortitude to continue, you can't let anything stop you. I have a wife who consistently pushes me to be better and consistently supports me. I have children who consistently support me and believe in what I'm doing. And now I'm working with another wrestler in an indie promotion who used to wrestle on WWE television, who used to wrestle in TNA, who wrestles in NWA now. Shout out to EC3. This is part of the foundation that we're building as bearers of our own destiny. And part of that is understanding the boundaries that you must cross and the things that you must do as a man, as a woman, non-binary, whatever you choose to identify as. You have a duty to fulfill. And if you do not fulfill that duty, then you're failing yourself. You're kidding yourself.
And there are things that, as you put it specifically and succinctly, can identify exactly how that person from within can and grab from within their soul to identify and look in front of them and see exactly what it is that they need to do. It's all unique and it's all individual to us, but we all have different roadmaps, different stepping stones, different books. And as much as I would love to push this interview to being anywhere forward to about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, I just got a notification. So to ensure that Mr. Dallas Cash, representing the North Face, that is one of the best, beautiful sweaters I've ever seen in my life. I love it. It's so pretty. Making sure you do not miss any time and ensuring that you get everything out that you do out there. We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds for you to get all of your plugs in. So, Mr. Cash, please plug everything that you're a part of.
King Dallas Cash on Twitter, the Humble Roses Pod on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok, YouTube, Humble Roses Pod. That's it. Follow us on Culture Clash Network. The Humble Roses website will be coming. I already purchased the domain. It will be thehumblerosespod.net. Thank you, Chaos, for having me.
As mentioned at the top of the program, our list of the top 5 GM vehicles from 1990 to 2005. Coming in at number 5, we have the 1990 Pontiac Trans Am. Beautiful car, outstanding value, and great attention to detail. Coming in at number 4, we have the 1994 Z24 Chevy Cavalier, an outstanding sporty model that was affordable and feasible, an outstanding model for your purchase. Coming in at number 3, we have the 2004 Pontiac G6, an outstanding device and vehicle, basically is the successor to the Pontiac Grand Am. Coming in at number 2, we have the 1990 Cadillac DeVille, and coming in at number 1, we have the 1990 Cadillac Eldorado. What is your top 5 list of vehicles coming in from 1990 to 2005? Let us know at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. One Kremlin representative to another was walking to session one day, and he said to his comrade, "Do not worry, we must not be too quick to make haste. After all, I do not want to rush ya." We would like to thank our guest, Dallas Cash, for being on the program today. You can follow him at the links in the description below, and all of the lovely platforms that he helps build can also be supported and reached through those mediums. To you, dear listener, it is imperative that you not give up on yourself, regardless of your circumstances. As long as your back is against a wall, understand that you are still standing. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast has been brought to you by Nach dem Leben, CRDVC, CR Deutschland, Apple, Google, Spotify podcasts, and our hosting platform Spreaker, where for just $3.99 a month you can join the Spreaker Supporters Club. You may make a one-time donation to support the program at buymeacoffee.com/Cleric of Chaos, or book a business meeting for your future artistic or business endeavor at linktr.ee/Cleric of Chaos, where you may also acquire merch, media, Cameo, and much, much more. You may reach out to us for any questions or feedback at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us at twitter.com/WeLGDeath. You may follow the host of the program at twitter.com/Cleric of Chaos, and please follow all of our lovely producers and friends of the program at the links in the description below. If you are experiencing psychiatric duress, please call 1-800-273-8255 or dial 988 from your mobile phone in the United States or Canada. If you are experiencing a domestic violence emergency, please call 1-800-799-7233. And if you're looking to adopt a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. And remember, time is always slipping out of our hands. The sands drip ever so relentlessly through the hourglass. But sometimes all we must do is look at ourselves in the mirror and understand that all we need is just to look at it a bit differently and identify it from a different perspective. This program would not be possible without the likes of your listening ears. And take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.